Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cheap channel, the channel dedicated to all things cheap in the world of fragrances. And as you saw, I made another rack store run, both to Ross and TJ Maxx, and I happened to find some pretty good stuff, I think, at both of them. And these are some things that I did not expect to find at all. One of these things I've seen before here and there, but the one at TJ Maxx, I did not expect to find. Don't know anything about it, so we're gonna save it till the end because I'm kind of curious about it. But starting off, you saw I went to Ross and I looked over a few things, and you can probably see some things in the video. I didn't really show myself picking it out, but you'll see here what I did end up picking out. The first one was this one by Banana Republic called Slate. And you know that I did another rack store haul, I think last year, where I actually did Slate Arctic, and that's another one that was very fresh, very almost cooling effect. It fit the Arctic kind of theme, but very almost powdery, but very nice, you know, a little sweet designer, just the usual kind of compliment getting thing. And the other one I got was this one here by Alfa Romeo, and it is the black version. You've probably seen these everywhere. There's like a blue one, there's a green one, there's a red one. The only other one I have this one is the green one, so I don't know much about this line, and I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and get it. It was very inexpensive, so I decided to pick it up. And the last one was this one here that I got at TJ Maxx, which is from Manscaped. If you don't know who Manscaped is, they are a men's grooming company that sponsor almost everyone and their mama on YouTube. Not me, I'm not endorsed by them, but I didn't know that they made a cologne, and I saw this out there and it was just sitting there, and I was like, you know what, that looks pretty interesting. I didn't know anything about it, can't find anything about it unless I probably really look online. There's nothing on the box, so I'm really curious on seeing what this was about. But first, let's start off with the one that I picked up and I showed first, which is this one here, Slate by Banana Republic. And as you know, I'm a huge Banana Republic fan. There's a lot of things in their lines that I really am curious on trying out. Mainly the Icon line is the one I'm most focused on because it's a very interesting line, very huge too. It has a lot of different things in it, but they have a lot of other fragrances that are on the side, and I don't really get a chance to really pick them up and look at them so often. So I'm gonna try a lot of their other side ones out besides just the Icon line, just to give it a chance. I know, like I said, I did Slate Arctic. It was nice, I really enjoyed it, but this is the regular Slate, and so hopefully I can actually find information out about it, because the original, the Arctic one, I could not find anything else about. Okay, so here we go. Okay, pretty nice presentation. The exact same as Slate, and also Cordovain and Cordovain Vintage. I think Cordovain Vintage was one that I opened up before and tried out in a rack store haul. Very similar presentation to those. I mean, it's a nice little bottle, pretty generic, pretty straightforward. The cap is probably gonna weigh nothing. Yeah, it weighs absolutely nothing. But the atomizer is like a gunmetal kind of look. So yeah, Slate Arctic had a very clearish but also light blue kind of juice. This is a very, very purple kind of juice. So yeah, I don't know what to expect from this one. I'm expecting it to be like usual kind of designer-esque stuff, you know, where it's gonna be very fresh, very compliment getting, very easy to wear, nothing too unique, but you never know. So let's go ahead and try this out, and then later we'll see how it picks up on it, you know, the notes that are in it, and see what I think about it. Pretty decent atomizer. I mean, nothing too special, but it definitely gets it distributed. Hold up. Okay, so it is fresh, but this is not what I expected. Very, very green, like grassy kind of green. It gives me a little bit of You or Someone Like You by Eat Live with Their Orange. Vibes close to that. It's not minty like that, but the grassy greenness, like the veggie kind of greenness in that, I smell in this one. Yeah, very green, very similar to that, similar to, I think, is it Xerjoff's Torino, is it 21 or 23? The one that's more mint green forward, that's similar to You or Someone Like You. Oh yeah, I like this one. It's very clean, very airy, very, you know, almost transparent, ozonic, freshy, you know, not really, almost aquatic, but not really the watery chlorine kind of aquatic nature, like cologne, the kind of thing that you'd expect like in cool water. It's drawn down to have a little bit more, almost like a slight aromatic feel, slightly sweet. It's really good though. Yeah, very different from the Arctic Flanker. I actually prefer this one because I love green stuff. So a little bit woody on that dry down. I can sense that the woods are trying to come out a little more as it's drying down. But overall, very green. I like this one. I'll really like it. Let's see what notes are in this one just real quick. So it looks like the presentation's changed probably since it was originally released, because the presentation on this is way nicer than what's right here. Aromatic, warm spicy, soft spicy, fresh. I get that, yeah. A little bit of spice. Came out in 2006. Okay, so it has a little bit of a throwback feel, which is probably why I like it so much, because you know I love me some mid-2000s retro kind of stuff. So the nose behind this is Jean-Marc Thailand. I don't see any top notes. It says middle notes, clary sage, base note, ginger. I mean, yeah, you know what? There is like a little bit of a ginger, fresh kind of spiciness, but maybe it's that sage that I'm getting. There is a slight spice in there, but I got a lot of greenness in this. It only says clary sage and ginger, and that cannot be correct. Some people say it's similar to Silver Mountain Water. Some people say it's similar to like Club de Sillage. Is this the same one that I got? I mean, okay, you know what? There is a little similarity to Silver Mountain Water as it starts drying down, but it really doesn't have that. It doesn't have that metallic kind of piercing musk and that kind of, you know, nuance to it. There's no tea in this. Maybe that sage has a little bit of herbaceousness, but no tea. But it is, it is a little bit of that Silver Mountain Water, just the freshness and the airiness in that, but it's way more green, a little more aromatic on, you know, not really as fresh spicy as it's saying. A ginger note, I guess I can see a little bit. Maybe on skin, once you spray it up, it'll really come out a lot more, but it smells good. This is exactly my kind of style of things that I like. This is really nice. I mean, I think I picked this up for like $14.69, so not bad at all. No, it was actually $19.99, but really good. Yeah, really good. I want to see what that's like on skin. It's smelling way closer to, like I said, a Torino 21 or 23, whichever one it is, and like you or someone like you, closer to that style, not as floral as those, not as white musk as those, but similar in nature. I guess like a middle in between from Silver Mountain Water and that, but yeah, really, really good, really nice, perfect for springtime, and we're about to get in the spring, so I might be giving this one some wear pretty soon. Now the next one is this one here that I showed at the beginning, the Alfa Romeo one. Like I said, I have the a green version of this, which is actually very nice. It's smoother than I was expecting for especially like the 12 bucks I picked it up at. It's a very vanilla, spicy, kind of tonka bean powdery kind of feel. Very modern, very youthful, and way better than what I was expecting. But this one, I've seen a whole lot. I've also seen the red version and the blue version. I think there's a white version of this as well, all over the place. So maybe I need to pick up more of these, especially if this one is really good. I did cheat a little bit and looked up some of the notes on this just to see if it was really worth buying or see the ratings on it. Had really good ratings on it, but I really can't remember all the notes. I can't really remember the full scent profile of what it was, so it's still gonna be a good bit of surprise. And even so, I mean, you can look up all the notes and all that, and you're not really gonna get the full essence of what it is until you actually smell it. So I know that the presentation on these are not really that good. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, very cheap though. It's a very generic looking bottle like the Banana Republic one, but it does have a little flair, it has a little emblem on it, it has little side ridges for, you know, I guess the little design from whatever kind of, I don't know if it's a racing company or car company or what it is. And of course, I do like the matte black kind of look on it. The green one, I think the red one too, is almost like a gloss finish, but I do like the matte black on this. And that cap is very cheap, very plasticky, but again, it's not about the presentation, it's about what is inside. And I am personally a little excited on trying this one out. So let's see how it is. That's like a pressurized atomizer. Hold up, look at this. What? That is nice. I did not expect that. The green version does not have a pressurized atomizer. Ooh, I'm smelling that in the air too. Hold up, hold up, hold the phone. Okay, hold up. Let's let it dry a little bit and then we'll go in and smell it. Okay, I smell a little bit in the air because that's very dispersive. It is filling up this whole room. And this is only like an eau de toilette concentration too. Let's see how this is, hold up. Not the best off a test strip, especially after just sprayed all over it. Gotta let it probably dry a little bit. But what I smell in the air, a little sweet, definitely not a sweetness on the top. A little bit of a, oh, what is that? There's a note that's very familiar on that. Almost a little leathery, maybe? Ooh, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Almost earthy, smoky, but not too smoky, but like an earthy, almost mineralic kind of thing. Maybe it's like a resinous kind of feel to it because it has a little spikiness to it. I don't know, this is interesting. A little bit of woods in there as well. This is very interesting. That pressurized atomizer just totally took me out off my game. I mean, it completely took me by surprise. I think my nose is overwhelmed by what I sprayed in the room, but it's nice. I can't describe what it is. It's very masculine though, very masculine, a little dark. And I think the black bottle kind of goes along with that theme, but it's very dark. Let's see if, I think Fragrantica was the one I looked this up on. So let's see. Fresh, spicy, woody, citric, balsamic, conifer, rose. Maybe that's what I'm getting. I'm getting a little bit of that rose. That's that piercing thing I'm kind of getting. Leather, there's a leather note in here, so I was right on that one at least. So the notes in this, top notes are elemi and grapefruit. That's what it was. It was elemi, that little spikiness in there. There's a lot of fragrances I have that have elemi as a very prominent note. I know Tommy Hilfiger Impact Intense has a noticeable note of elemi, Lalique White and Black does, and Bentley Momentum Intense has a very noticeable elemi note, which gives it that balsamic kind of resinous ambery feel. Middle notes are nutmeg and black rose. Black rose is pretty interesting. Okay, and base notes are Alcantara accord. What is that? And dark woodsy notes. So it is dark. Okay. It's getting way better as it dries down. This is not bad at all. What? Alcantara accord? I guess that's like a, what's the picture on here? It's like a car interior? Maybe it's like the, is it the leather? I guess the leather note in it? What is Alcantara? Natural, synthetic, popular, and weird. This is the only fragrance on Fragrantica that has this kind of accord in it. Maybe it's like the interior synthetic smell of, you know, leather mixed with like the plastic from the dashboard. I guess it will smell like the inside of like one of the race cars. Very interesting though. Oh, it does have a nice dark woodiness. I cannot wait to get this one on skin. This is gonna be super interesting. It does have like that little suede synthetic leather kind of interior in it. This is very, very, very unique. And I think a lot of people say that this has similarities to things like Dark Rebel by John Barbados. That is amazing because that is a discontinued fragrance. I've wanted to try to get a bottle of it, but it's very expensive online. Most of the time you're going to find it like in used bottles or unopened for like, you know, almost $200. If this is similar to that, that's actually pretty incredible. This is very surprising, not bad at all. I mean, not the highest quality. It is very cheap and synthetic, but $12 for this one, $12, and you get a scent profile that is so unique. I mean, very unique. This is like going into niche territory. It doesn't smell anything that's gonna be super appealing. Not everyone's gonna probably like it. It's not gonna be anything you think about, you know, I wanna smell like this or smell like that. You know, you're not gonna be thinking about smelling like a Alcantara, whatever it is, kind of interior, but it's nice. It is a dark woodiness in the background. Like I said, a conifer kind of background. And that resinous ambery, there's some more ambers in there now. Very, very interesting. I like this one. I cannot wait to get some on skin. I mean, I imagine this is gonna be something that's probably gonna be closer to like the fall, winter time, maybe spring on the cool spring nights, but man, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Okay, I can't wait to see what that one is like. Now on to the next and last one. It is this one from Manscaped. It is called Persevere cologne. It is still wrapped up in plastic. They had 3 of these. I know you can probably see in the video, 3 of these sitting there. And it was outside the case too, which I did not expect, because usually they kind of put these unopened boxes behind the case. So maybe whoever put them out there just didn't get a chance to open it. But I'm glad that I didn't have to go through all that process and just look at it and actually be able to, you know, take out the box and inspect it. But there's nothing really on the box. I mean, you have the Manscaped name, you have the logo on the top, which I'm pretty sure most of you already know what that logo looks like. And then you have Persevere cologne. The net weight, 1.7 ounces, the 50 ml, and I got it for $16.99. So depending on how this smells, that may not be a bad price for this. And again, I don't know what the full retail, it says compare at $28, but Manscaped may actually sell it for a little more than that, I'm not sure. And if I can't find the notes on Fragrantica, I'm gonna have to go to Manscaped's website and see what the notes are. But we'll do our first impressions and see what we think about it first. So here we have the box unopened, and then I think this part comes off like that, opens up, and there's your small bottle sitting right there. Okay, look at that right there. Just sits right in there, a little holder. And at the top it says, enter the woods. Okay, so it's gonna be a woody style fragrance. Very interesting, which is right up my alley. I love woody fragrances. Very square, generic bottle, generic cap. It actually looks like a miniature version of the Encre Noir line by Lalique, just like very small, but they kept the cap the same size. But the cap is not wood like Encre Noir line is. It is a cheap plastic. You have the name of the fragrance and the name of the company on the front. It's a blue style bottle, so my wife will love this because her favorite color is blue. Okay, it does not click into place, it slides into place, making sure there's no leaks in it. And you got this kind of almost brass colored kind of atomizer. It's plastic, it is not metal, so let's see how it is. So it says enter the woods, and I haven't looked up the notes yet. We'll just spray it and see what we think about it first. A pretty nice atomizer. It mists pretty well, and it's not really pressurized, but it does have a nice push to it, so not bad, not bad. So what I'm expecting a very generalized wood kind of note that any guy would like, because I mean, after all, they're trying to sell this to as many people as possible, and it may have like a similar scent profile and smell to probably how like a lot of their lotions and shaving creams and things like that is, even though I don't know what any of those smell like. I imagine it's probably gonna be somewhere around that area of what they trying to get most of their stuff to, you know, smell like, kind of like a little brand to them. Okay, I immediately know what this is smelling like. Yep. Okay, so this is, oddly enough, the cheapest smelling one out of the bunch we have here, and yet it is also the middle of the road. I mean, this is more expensive than the Alfa Romeo one, and not as expensive as the Banana Republic, but yet it smells like the cheapest one, and maybe there's just the opening. Okay, so very, very sweet, powdery, a little bit fresh on the top. I don't really get a lot of woods in this up front. Okay, it smells like Versace Eros, first off. It smells like a very, very cheap version of Versace Eros. I don't know if there's any mint in it. I don't know if there is any apple or any, there is definitely vanilla in this with that sweetness, but I mean, Oxford Blue by English Laundry smells way better than this, way smoother, but you can definitely tell it's going for that mainstream kind of smell. And Versace Eros is mainstream, but it's also widely loved by a lot of people, whether you're into fragrances or not. So it's safe trying to copy a scent profile like that. Again, the least unique out of all these here, and like I said, the least quality, but let's see if we can find the actual notes for this one and see what they are trying to get across. From their website, it is $49.99, so I was right. It definitely is more than this. And it's only, it says cologne, so I don't know if it's an eau de cologne or if they're just calling it a cologne and maybe it's a different kind of concentration. Clean and fresh scent designed for the refined gentleman. Opening with light citrus burst, it dances around with a gentle touch of sandbank jasmine before settling into the anchoring notes of vetiver and light woods. Is light woodsy bergamot and lavender. Smooth as silk, jasmine, and vetiver. So what are the notes? Because they have like 3 different note listings here. I don't know which one it is. I guess all of them? It definitely does not smell like that though. The note breakdown sounds more interesting, you know, comparatively speaking, than how it actually smells. And maybe it's just cheaper on the test strip. I had to try it on skin and see, but I'm gonna let all these dry down for a second, give my nose a break, come back later and smell them all again and see what we think about them. So I'll be back in a bit. And we are back. Let's see how these are on the dry down now and if they've changed even just a little bit over the few minutes that I've been away. Also give my nose time to kind of get out of this room because one of those filled the whole room up. So hopefully I can get a fresh take on everything now. So let's go on to the first one. It was Slate by Banana Republic. Again, I thought it was very green, a little aromatic, herbaceous, but it had a very good bit of freshness to it, a little expansive airiness to it. So we'll see if it's changed over time. Okay, yeah, I get a lot more of that sage in here. Clary sage is very noticeable, especially in a lot of blue fragrances. And I think this kind of has a little bit of that to it, or at least a lot of like, you know, fresh aquatic kind of style fragrances. I definitely get that sage now in this. The ginger, maybe a little more, but it was very green on that front. I don't really get as much spiciness from that ginger, maybe like a very soft spiciness in the background, but not really too much with this. And again, that note breakdown on Fragrantica didn't do me any favors. It didn't give me anything, so I'm just going based off of what I smell and off of what little bit it gave me. Really, really good. Yeah, it's gonna be a majority aromatic green sage with a little bit of citrus pop at the top and a little bit of a ginger kind of spiciness toward the middle. Man, I think the dry down on this is gonna be, you know, a little musky, kind of just airiness, freshness to it. Probably not gonna be anything too unique, but I do really like it. Again, came out in 2006, which is probably a good reason why I like it, because I love those kind of old retro mid-2000s kind of style fragrances. Don't know why, I just do. This is really good, perfect for the spring, summertime. I think it'd be great for office wear. Again, really can't talk about performance or at least longevity because I just have it on test strip. Haven't worn it, I just opened it up, but maybe down the road, I'll be showing these up again, especially if these are really good, and I'll probably talk more about them a little later, especially if I wear these in a weekly rotations video, which more than likely I will, so you'll get to see them in those coming up. Now to that second one that we opened up, which is probably the most surprising one, is this one here, the Alfa Romeo black one. That pressurized atomizer still threw me off. Did not expect that, but man, if this is good, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get all the other ones. The red one, the blue one, whichever one there is. And like I said, I have the green one and it's nice, but I don't think it's as nice as this one at least hit me. So let's see. A lot better on that dry down. You get a lot more of that leather. It's not an animalic leather, it's a very soft, smooth leather note that comes out. A little bit of the dark woods is still there. A little spiciness on the top as well. That still has that ambery kind of feel. That elmy resinous kind of opening is gone a little bit, but maybe on skin it stays a little longer, but even what's on here is still really good. You know what? This has a lot of similarities to the dry down of Chopard's 1000 Miglia. Very, very similar. Of course, that's also a race car scent, which has like an asphalt note in it, but very similar. Yeah, really nice. Very, very surprising. Like I said, this thing I think was like $12.99. I've looked over this so many times. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen this and just was like, I don't know if it's worth getting. I'm gonna have to pick up the other ones in this line. Don't know if they're gonna be as good as this one, but I can at least see how they are. Again, not gonna be like super high quality. It's not too dense, but it's there. Like I said, maybe on skin it does better, but this is not bad at all. Very surprising. Very, very good. Really like it. And then that next one we had that we opened up was that Manscaped one, the one called Persevere. Again, I thought it opened up very similar to Versace Eros. And I'm actually going kind of looking at the bottle, that kind of gold and blue, similar to that gold and teal greenish kind of color from Eros. So maybe that's what they're going for, but let's see. Yeah, not the best. It's trying. It just does not have that complexity like you'd want. It's very one-dimensional. I mean, of course, most of these are gonna be pretty linear, but it just has one profile. It's not drying down any different. You can't really discern any kind of particular notes, you know, which some people say is good. Some people say it's not. You know, I think it depends on the profile you're going for, but I mean, it smells like how a mouthwash smells. And the best way I can put that, it just doesn't, I don't know, maybe it's just because I after opened it with these two and I was very excited for it because it was the last one I found out of the bunch and did not expect it, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe on skin it'll do better. Maybe on skin, but I mean, I've smelled Hollister fragrances that smell better than this. And like I said, that Alfa Romeo one's better than this, more unique than this. Even the green version of that was better than this. So I don't know, I mean, even like some of the Beverly Hills Polo Club stuff is better than this, or at least a little more interesting than this. I don't know. Maybe on the dry down or on skin, it'll be even better, but as of now, not my favorite. Maybe I'll actually end up giving this off to someone else, but not without trying it and giving it its, you know, due trial. I'll try it out and see what it's like, but again, not my absolute favorite one. And here there are, guys, my 3 pickups in this rack store haul video. Again, the first 2 were really nice, very surprising. And the last one, not so much, kind of gave my hopes up on that one. But still, at least I now know, got some new stuff in, some new talking points. If any of you have these or have owned these or have seen these before, let me know what you think about them in the comments, or are there some other fragrances that I need to be on the lookout for when going to these rack stores, mainly like Ross or TJ Maxx. Let me know about that as well in the comments below. Again, I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. If you did, please consider giving it a like and a thumbs up so I know to keep making more just like this one. And if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, but you do like what you see here or elsewhere on the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, showing some support, and even hitting that notification notification bell so you can see when I upload videos like this one and all the other ones in the future. Again, there's a lot of stuff I have planned coming along, and I'd love for you to be right along with me on this cheap fragrance journey. And hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And as usual, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And as usual, I will see all of you again in the next video. Be blessed.